Welcome back, streamers. Shane thinks I'm talking to myself, y'all. He doesn't realize I have a live audience now. Yes, he realizes, but he doesn't care.
Figured you didn't take your medicine. All right, about 10 seconds out or so.
Okay. Let's see what this is. Talk directly to y'all.
Herman Cain's vast experience can help you achieve your own personal success. This is your GPS, guiding principles of success.
Thank you for joining the Herman Cain Show today. Our Guiding Principles to Success segment will be a special based upon a speech that I gave in Bakersfield, California on October 8th, 2016. And it's entitled Keeping the American Dream Alive, Political and Economic Freedom. Now, what's interesting about these remarks is that this was before Donald Trump was elected. And many of the points that I pointed out in this speech that we as citizens, patriots, needed to do are actually happening after Donald Trump became president of the United States of America. So this also represents some key points we must keep in mind as Donald Trump continues to put together his team and live up to many of the promises that he made. It begins with a reminder that Dr. Benjamin B. Mays shared with the students at Morehouse when I was a student there. He reminded us, let it be borne in mind that the tragedy of life does not lie in not reaching your goals. The tragedy lies in having no goals to reach for. It's not a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled, but it is a calamity to have no dreams. Very powerful words and a very powerful reminder. Because someone once said, ironically, if you have no goals, you will get there because you're not working toward any. And if you do not have a dream, you will not find it. So that's where it starts. And so my first declaration of keeping the American dream alive is that it must not be dead because of our Constitution, our liberties, our economy, our military capabilities, and our culture. Think about what President Trump has talked a lot about during the presidential campaign. Look at some of the things that President Trump emphasized in his inaugural speech. One of the things that I liked most was when he reminded the people that they would not be forgotten. Because you see, he has emphasized over and over and over again, it's about the people. I wrote a commentary that I posted yesterday of what winning looks like. Take a look at that. Because it appears as if a lot of liberals and a lot of Democrats have forgotten what winning looks like. And it starts with those foundations of the Constitution, our liberties, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, not a guarantee. A strong economy. Look what's happened to the stock market. Look what the members of Congress are doing to support Donald Trump in wanting to reduce taxes, reduce regulations in a responsible way. Look what this current administration under President Trump is doing as far as rebuilding our military capabilities. It's very simple. Peace through strength and clarity. That doctrine started with President Ronald Reagan. I talked a lot about it when I was a candidate for president. And now President Trump is following through with that, starting with nominating and getting confirmed General James Mattis as Defense Secretary. Our military capabilities help us to keep the American dream alive. And as far as our culture, it starts with the family. It starts with the choices that you have relative to your life, your family, your decision, your doctor. That's what our culture is all about. Not being dictated by government from the top. Second point. For the last 8 years, I believe, and a lot of people believe, that the American dream had been stalled. Not in full gear. Not running at maximum capacity. Stalled by what I describe as the attack of the Asians. Too much legislation. Think about it. Unaffordable Care Act. Too much taxation. Think about it. Sneaker taxes embedded in the Unaffordable Care Act. Sneaker taxes embedded in other things. And too much regulation. The EPA on steroids, as an example. So the American dream was stalled because of the attack of the Asians. We now have a president that is trying to get the Asians, some of them, off our backs. That doesn't mean that there aren't some good pieces of legislation, and we don't mind paying taxes when we believe that they are fair and not overburdensome, and that our money is not being wasted. We also have no problems with responsible regulations. And so what's inspired a lot of people is the fact that this president and this administration appears to want to unstall the American dream. Third point. Solutions. How do we get the American dream unstuck? And we're seeing this in the first few days already of the Trump administration. First, every vote counts. One of the reasons that Donald Trump got elected is because a lot of people believed that he would do the things that he said he would do. A lot of people got out and voted because they did not want 4 or 8 more years of the same thing that we have seen in the last 8 years. A lot of people got out and voted because they believed that it was a time to have somebody that approached running the government and the nation like a business. Liberals have wanted you to believe for a long time you can't run it like a business. Yes, you can. Maybe not exactly, but conceptually. And the way you run the government as a business is you start looking for solutions. The other thing that a businessman does that politicians don't do when they're running a business, they don't look for incremental change, incremental progress. They look for quantum progress. The liberals wanted all of us to believe, oh, the Unaffordable Care Act just needs some tweaking. No, it doesn't. When you blow up the building in order to fix a leak in the roof, and now the entire building is in splinters, you can't tweak it back together. You have to repeal and replace. But the scare tactic that the liberals and the Democrats are using is that, oh, people are going to lose their health insurance coverage. No. Representative Tom Price, who is the nominee for Health and Human Services, has repeated what Donald Trump has said. Nobody's going to lose their health insurance in this transition. But the liberals want to try to scare people into believing that. What's the second solution? Pay attention. A lot of people have come to realize what some of us have been talking about, for quite some time that there's a lot of media bias out there. There's true news and there's false news. I don't know where they get this fake news idea from. What is that? False news light? No such thing. People are either going to tell you the truth or they're going to slant the truth or they're going to tell you a lie. You have to pay attention to the sources that you trust. And I'm sure that many of you that are listening to this program or watching and listening to this program, you trust that we are trying to tell you the truth. We have done that consistently, which is why our audience has continued to grow. Thank you. Pay attention to the distractions, the deceptions, and distortions, and know when you are intentionally trying to be manipulated. The American people are waking up. And then thirdly, don't be stupid. And you're not. Some of them want you to believe that you're stupid, but you are not stupid. We are not stupid. That's why we are taking this nation back on behalf of the people, not on behalf of the politicians. And in closing, I always like to use something that's also comes from Dr. Benjamin E. Mays when he was the president of Morehouse. And it became ingrained in all of the students. Life is just a minute. It reminds me of my dad's dream. His dad walked off of a farm at the age of 18, literally with just the clothes on his back, to pursue his American dream. And he did. He wanted to be able to establish a lifestyle where he could take care of the family, and he wanted his two sons to get a little bit better start in life than he did. And we did. Thanks to Mom and Dad, who believed in God, believed in themselves, and they believed in the United States of America. That's where I got and still get a lot of my inspiration. So the American dream is still alive, and it's getting stronger. I not only know that from the things that I see happening, I know that from my own journey. Because yes, I defined my American dream exactly where I am today. My question to you, what's your American dream? What defines your American dream? And how is your journey going? And in the words of an anonymous writer, through the voice of Dr. Benjamin E. Mays, life is just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon you, can't refuse it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to you to use it. You must suffer if you abuse it. Give an account if you lose it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. The American dream is alive and well. I'm Herman Cain.